Okay, this isn't a bad angle. Well, basically, my message is to never give up, right? But right now, I really, really feel like giving up. Like, I really, really feel like giving up. Why? Well, my stepdad has disallowed me from using my weights, right? And so I've been doing calisthenics for about 4 weeks. I think it's been 3, but I'm pretty sure it's been a very, very long time, right? 3 to 4 weeks. So I've only been doing push-ups, curls, lateral raises, calf raises, dips, just a little bit of dips. That's basically it. I've basically been playing around with push-up variations, where I'm, decline, incline, curls, drag curls, hammer curls, reverse curls, or pronated curls. I've done some rear delt raises or flies, some lateral raises, just basically push movements mostly, and the only pull movements I have are the rear delt flies, so I can keep my posture upright, since I've been struggling with that a lot. But I always stretch, and I always make sure to have do some mobility movements for my upper back and delts, rear delts, and chest, so that, because I sit at a desk all day, so I make sure to get all the stretches in that I need to stretch the pecs, the shoulder, all 3 heads, the lower back, and the lats, so I can keep my posture upright like this all the time, like I always do. And so yeah, I haven't been working all my muscles like I should, and I've lost size. Usually I think that usually when I look in the mirror, I see a bigger version of myself than people see of me. So I see myself as a good looking person, but then when I really I took some pictures to really analyze and how I look like, and I look terrible. You know what I mean? I look anorexic. So when I look at myself, I look not anorexic. What do I say? I look malnourished. You know what I mean? I look like I don't eat enough. Is that true? Yeah, it is. But I look worse than what I thought I usually look like. I think I look average. I thought I looked like an average person, but then when I really look into the mirror and looking at the pictures, I just look like crap. I can say so many bad things about myself, but I'm gonna just say I look like crap. Because my goal is to be a bodybuilder. Not IFBB pro. That's the highest you can go. I'm thinking like a natural bodybuilder, Steve Reeves. Frank Zane when he's on low doses. Sush. That type of thing. I'm trying to look, like a Greek god, but with my circumstances and with how I live right now, I don't think I can reach that even 1%. Better than I've always been. I can't do that right now. There's no way at all I'm going to reach that goal. So I'm thinking of changing my goals from building muscle to maintaining and staying lean instead, which means I might lose all my muscle, not all of it, but I'm not gonna be as big as I was before, and I wasn't even big, but I was bigger, obviously. If you see the old photos of myself in some videos where I put my front of me flexing all the way up, and my abs and everything, where I'm just like standing like kind of back, you can see that I put on significant amount of size compared to now, and my back and everything was way extremely more defined than now. My body fat percentage was about 10, 11, and now it's about 14, 15. So it went up a good 4 to 5 percentages. I'm not even close to obese, but I've gained a lot of body fat since then, and I've lost muscle at the same time. So I think my body weight has stayed in the same range, but muscle went down, fat went up. I think fat weighs less than muscle. Muscle weighs more, because you can have less muscle but weigh more than someone that's fat. I don't know how to explain it, but basically muscle's here, fat's here, and they can weigh the same. You know what I mean? So yeah, But what I was thinking about was self improvement, right? You know, I haven't been doing 100%. I've been doing about 20. You know, meditation every once in a while. You know, the most self improvement thing I do is stretch. I get up, I stretch. I do my shoulder stretch, chest stretch, hamstring stretch, quad stretch. Uh, what's the inside of your legs? Inner quads, inner. I don't know what it's called. I stretch my calves. I stretch my lower back, and then I stretch my lower back in like 3 to 4 stretches, and then I stretch my abs at the end, and that's all you need to stretch in the morning, really. And I used to do motion mobility. It's where you put yourself in like kind of over the top positions to stretch. I forgot what it was called, but it's some kind of special training this physical therapist did on Instagram. So I followed her routine, and I enjoyed it, and it really woke me up in the morning whenever I worked out. So that's what I used to do. But now I just do stretches, and then before bed I do some stretches, and then that's all. But now I just sit on my butt and play video games all day, and I do work out. I'm not gonna say I don't work out. Obviously I work out. I'm not gonna stop doing that. You know what I mean? When it comes to health, I do everything I need to do. You know, I get as much sleep as possible, which is 5 hours at the least. 5 hours, 2 to 3 days a week, and then 7 to 8 the rest of the days. 6 would be the lowest on one day for the 7, and then the other days are 7 to 8 hours. So I would say that I'm in the good range, and I drink good amount of water. My food, I have been eating and drinking more sugar, but it isn't sugar that you would expect me to drink. I don't drink as much sugar as I can, you know what I mean? I still back away. And eating sugar, I don't eat sugar almost at all, but when I do, it's, you know, it would be about 2 times the daily recommended, so about 60 to 70 grams. I know it's terrible. It's so terrible I'm telling all this stuff. Yeah, it's bad, man. So right here in this video, I'm gonna tell you the things that I want to do to become better. Will I do them? Honestly, probably not. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm probably just gonna stay the same way. My physique isn't gonna improve anytime soon. You know, without the tracking of calories, upping the intake of protein, and having a caloric surplus, which I can't get any of those. There's no way I'm going to get the physique I want in the next 10 years while I'm living with my parents. There's just no way. It's almost impossible. If they allow me to eat whatever I want, then it is more possible, but chances are I'm not going to become who I want to be here. That's just the facts of it. You know what I mean? I've been trying for years. A year. Yeah. You know, even when I had a dream of being a martial artist, it was still impossible. My dreams got crushed. Dead serious. My dreams got crushed. I looked up to Bruce Lee a lot. You know, he taught me so much philosophical ideas that I still used today. You know, like to delay anger and to flow like water, which is, you know, obviously one of his most renowned quotes from himself. And I've used that in my daily life all the time. I always think, you know, not to get too mad or to get too happy in times, and to always stay, you know, monotone in the moment. Not because I'm a monotone person. I'm definitely not a monotone person. I'm only monotone on camera because I'm being as serious as possible, right? But when it comes to, you know, different things like you know, getting mad and stuff, I always think about, you know, never get mad, right? You might have a right to, but that doesn't mean you should. I've always looked at stoicism, values, and philosophy, you know, in many different situations. And not that I read it a lot. I need to read it a lot more, but I was obsessed with stoicism, right? Because I was in a spot, and I was in a really bad spot in what, 9th grade, right? And 8th grade. It was 10th grade. It was mostly 10th grade in the beginning. I was thinking, you know, I'm pretty dang lonely, well, at least in my own head anyways. So I was thinking, you know, what can I do to be able to talk to more people? So I started just talking to random people, right? And just making conversation all the time. And then I started getting interested in magic. And that really made me talk to more people. Even if it was just a little bit, it still pushed the motive of, I can do literally whatever I want whenever I want to, and no one cares, you know? And it really pushed my courage up there to where I knew that I own the world in such a way, my own world anyway, and I can do literally whatever I want in it. To an extent, obviously. I don't mean literally I can do whatever I want. Literally all of the values that people have, I can just derail them or something. No, I mean literally I just control all my actions, and I can input them into my life without being scared. Like, there's a girl, now I'm scared to talk to her. She's too hot, or um she's too intimidating. Like, in my head, that's what I think. But is she really? No one's too intimidating. They shouldn't be. If you have trained yourself, you know what I mean? I'm getting way off topic, okay? These are the things I'm gonna do to improve myself, or should do, right? Meditation. Meditation does wonders to the body. Now, there's a connection between your calming, like the way your body calms down during meditation, and the science behind it correlates with your immune system, okay? Because when your immune system is stronger, your meditation is better. And then there's also a link, vice versa, which isn't as prominent or isn't as researched, but there's still a link towards it. I have a Reddit post that I saved. You can just read it. I'll put in the bio, right, in the description. So more meditation would equal not only better health, but better control of your mind, consistent control of your mind. Because there's times when you wake up in the morning and you have more focus, and then for a male, your hormones will go, up and down, up and down, up and down, and then focus goes down, focus goes up, focus goes down, and it's not consistent. So therefore, you lose focus, right, in the moment. Or you hear a notification on your phone, right? You go to it, okay, notification on your phone. Now you're out of focus. You're totally on your TikTok for an hour or two, or 5 to 10 to 15 minutes while you're doing a test or whatever. It's just, the way our brains function nowadays, with notifications, alarms, not being woken up by the sun, but being woken up by people, alarms, and music, has really disturbed, our primitive minds. Because primitively, how humans will wake up is, why am I looking here? I need to look at the camera. Sorry. Or is that we use the sun as indication, right? It's the heat starts to go up. Our body temperature rises, which in turn is because of the light. Or the light goes up. We start to see the light, and then our body just wakes up like that. It's also in turn with the what is it called? I'm gonna think about this for a second. What is it called? It's called it's like some kind of clock that your heart or brain has, that where you sleep, your circadian rhythm. There we go, your circadian rhythm. So it's like if you sleep at, I think it's like 9 p.m. and then you wake up at 2, or if you sleep after 9 p.m., then your circadian rhythm is interrupted. So therefore, you will wake up earlier because your body thinks it's in danger, and your body won't go to sleep. It's kind of complicated. I'm gonna have to put another link in the description. But your circadian rhythm tells you when to sleep and when to wake up. It's the rhythm that your body has adjusted because of the sun. Okay? That's why when you stay up and you pull all-nighters, you're disturbing your body so much you don't even understand. That's why it feels so bad when you don't go to sleep. Maybe you get a high from it somehow and you're like, oh, I feel fine, but really your body is destroyed because it is meant to sleep at that time, right? Okay, so meditation. When I used to meditate, I used to do 5 minutes at a time, right? 5 minutes. On the 5th minute is when you start to daze off and you think, okay, it should be about off right now, and you open your eyes and it's like, frick, I have a minute left. But then you start to get used to that minute after a couple days, and then you have the 5 minutes down. And it's simple because it's only 5 minutes a day, right? 5 minutes is nothing. So then with that, you add one in the morning and then one at night after about 4 to 5 days, right? So then for about and then you go for a week with that, and then you will feel much better. Your whole body will feel much better with that meditation. So then you go with that, and after that you just add like a minute a week, or not even, like a couple seconds a week, right? And you time that, and you keep it going up the time, and then actual philosophers and people who really want to get in tune with their body, like spiritual people, they meditate for an hour a day, or hours a day. You know what I mean? Like Connor Murphy. Well, he's people say psycho, but I think this is pretty cool how he meditates like more than an hour a day, and he really goes by that. I think that's interesting, and I think I would want to experiment with meditating an hour a day, because that is an insane amount of time to most people, right? An hour. So yeah, but really you don't need an hour. Just do 5 minutes, and then up it to 10. I think 20 is the maximum that you need. I don't think you need more than 20, but if you want to do more than 20 because you feel that meditation helps you so much, go for it. Don't be like, nah, I don't want to do it. Nah, go for it. Okay, 10 is where it's like, okay, I can do 10 for a while, right? And if you feel you want more, put more. If you feel you want less, go ahead and stop at the 5, right? Don't do any less, right? And that's basically all for that. Meditation, it's important. And then along with cold showers, everyone says that's the bread and butter, but I would say cold showers is overrated. Not really, probably isn't. But I would say adjusting to the cold is one of the best things you can do. That's another thing I want to do, right? Go outside more when it is cold, okay? And exercise and meditate, okay? Why? Because humans are starting to get softer, right? Me, myself, as in, I'm human, okay? People aren't adjusted to extremes, right? When you go outside and it's cold, oh, I hate the cold, go back inside. Oh, it's hot, go back inside, right? I'm the same way, everyone's the same way, right? But the cold is good for you, okay? The cold helps your body fight off disease, right? It's makes your immune system stronger. Most of some best benefit everyone takes off of the cold, right? It builds your immune system and it makes you almost indestructible, as said by Wim Hof with this Wim Hof method. And me, I will look into this method if I were you. Look into the Wim Hof method and do a basic sort of not introduction to it, like a very short sessions that he does. And go for that. Go for, at the end of your hot shower, do like 10 seconds of cold water, as cold as possible, and just stand there. Try to get your whole body. And it's gonna feel bad, man. I remember the first time I did cold showers, the last 10 to 30 seconds, man, it would hurt my nose, it would hurt my head. It would just hurt, right? I literally couldn't breathe, and I would just stand there and just take it. It's rough, but you have to take it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, cold showers, they really, people say, oh, you take a, you take a shower and it's warm, and then you go outside, or it's warm and then you go outside and it's cold. That's bad for you. Well, yeah, okay, but then how come people take cold showers and they have the strongest immune systems out of everyone? Because they've built it up using the cold. To me, that doesn't even make any sense, right? My mom's like, oh, don't go in the cold, you're gonna get sick. But people take whole showers in the cold water, and showers are about 10 to 20 minutes long, and they're getting doused in the, really, really cold temperature for long periods of time. So how come me going outside for a run, warming my body up, protecting against the warm, is bad? I don't understand it, man. I mean, another thing, you're breathing in cold air too, but that's not gonna damage you. You know what I mean? I don't understand the logic for some things, man. Okay, another thing is journaling. Journaling is very powerful, as told by Stoic philosophers, and many, just athletes, billionaires, businessmen, entrepreneurs, famous, just many successful people journal their days, their feelings, just anything, basically, just anything. They journal it, right? And that's something that I used to do, like, for like a week, and then I'd be like, I'm happy or whatever. I don't care to journal it, and then I would stop. Or maybe there was a moment that was so special, in like what, eighth grade, and beginning of 2019, I would journal, and I still have the notes there that are really private, and I would journal about that, about how I felt, and like, you know, just felt, you know what I mean? And that actually helps you a lot, like meditation does. It's like self-therapy, basically, because you can look back, you can see how you felt this day, and then you can write down the mistakes you made for the day, and how you could have solved them, or how you could have went by to prevent them. And that's really, really powerful, because at the end of the day, you usually think, okay, I'm just done with the day, I'm sleeping, I'm done. But you really, if you go at the end of the day and you write down the mistakes that you made, and you go and try to solve them on your own, well, on paper, with your imagination, then you put more scenarios in your head, and you kind of rewire your brain to where you'll be faster at solving problems because you've done them in the past. You know what I mean? Because usually, those moments when you're in the shower and you're like, I talked to this girl and I said this. Okay, what if I said this instead? And then in your mind it clicks, and then the conversation keeps going. You're like, I fixed it. Like, you literally fixed like the timeline or something. You know what I mean? Like you literally went back and you fixed the timeline, and now the new timeline would have been so awesome, but you're in a different timeline. You know what I mean? That's how it is. It's so surreal to think about when you can change the past. The past, right? It's not happening now, so you changing it will in the future fix, the future, because you're rethinking your moments that you're going to have, even if you had different ones. That was so confusing, but in my mind it makes sense. All right, I'm gonna talk about something else now. So I said journaling, meditation, cold water showers. I would say eating healthy is something that everyone should do, but eating healthy is more. It's kind of confusing nowadays, right? But I would say really is you need to eat a diet that you can follow, right? If in the morning you like to eat pancakes and syrup, go ahead. But if you're overweight, then you need to switch. You need to take less caloric, switch the foods out so you can have less calorie food. So let's say you eat, you're overweight, or you wanna cut down on some body fat, and you eat waffles and pancakes with syrup, and then strawberries, and then a coffee. Let's say the coffee is the first thing you need to look at, because it is a drink that you can drink in a couple seconds that gives you hundreds of thousands of calories. Look to replace that with the same flavor, without the sugar, without the flavoring, and add in, or without the whatever gives it the calories, and add in Splenda instead. Splenda is a artificial sweetener, which won't kill you. Okay, you'll be fine using Splenda daily. Okay, and use Splenda instead of sugar all the time. Always use Splenda. It gives you it has no calories. It'll keep the calories of the coffee really low, right? And then for the pancakes themselves are healthy. Why? Because they have what I think the wheat and the flour is what good carbs, right? I'm pretty sure. I read about it, but I forgot. But there's like some little bad things about waffles, but they're so minimal that they don't matter. The thing that does matter is the eggs that you put in the waffles or pancakes. Pretty sure it's pancakes. So when you put eggs in pancakes, that ups the protein. If it's usually people make low protein pancakes, right? What you want to do is you want to add some protein, or put a whole lot of eggs and egg whites in it, right? So then when you make the pancake, it's high protein. That's good. You want high protein in the morning. It's very good for your heart, very good for your body, so that it really wakes up and it really has the strength to go through the day with high protein. That's why people eat eggs for breakfast. Why else would they eat eggs for breakfast? I'd rather eat eggs for dinner. But it's because the high protein in breakfast is really good for you. Next, the syrup. Now, syrup is very high calorie dense because usually people put a whole lot of syrup on their pancakes and stuff. I don't know about me, but my mom gets the syrup. She puts like so little. It doesn't even soak up the thing. It's like you can't even taste the. It's just dough, bro. Like, come on, put up some syrup. So you want to get the lowest calorie syrup you can. I think it's about 10 calories per like the smallest, like a pretty big serving is like 10 calories. So you sprinkle that all over your food, man, and just measure it, and then you should be able to get really low calorie breakfast. And that's the key. Is switch out foods that are high calorie for low calorie food. So let's say you like to eat pizza and all that. Make your pizza homemade and add in foods that have really low calories. So the dough at the pizza place is probably what? Really high calorie dense. So if you replace it with your own low calorie special made dough, then you're gonna have a low calorie replacement that will make the meal so much healthier, because lower the calories, the healthier it is, because you want to stay at a lower body fat. The higher your body fat, the more you're at risk for so many diseases and problems with your body and less mobility. Now, there's times when you need a higher body fat percentage, which is when you want to get stronger or bigger. So when that happens, then you need to up the calories, but by this much, by 100 to 300 calories max. 500 is the max. And that is what's recommended by Greg Doucette, which he wants you to gain muscle while staying skinny. As in gain muscle while not staying skinny, while staying at a low body fat. So that when you gain muscle, you don't gain as much fat at the same time. Because usually people go, okay, you need to get fat to gain muscle, right? My stepdad told me that. He was like, eat all these noodles and get fat and you'll be big. No, you're not going to get big. You're going to get fat. And they said, all the fat will turn into muscle. No, that's not how it works. Once you gain all that fat, in order to take the fat off, you're going to have to eat less. And when you eat less, it's so much harder to gain muscle when you're trying to lose fat at the same time. It is possible, definitely, but it is difficult for many. Okay? You can do it incidentally as a beginner, and it is definitely possible, but it isn't easy. Okay? That's why we recommend going from one place to the next and not doing two at the same time. Okay? So you shouldn't be trying to gain muscle and lose fat. You need to be losing fat and then gaining muscle. But when you're losing fat, you need to include weight training so that you don't lose your muscle and so that you gain muscle at the same time. Because I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying to do both at the same time, equally, simultaneously, it is difficult and nearly impossible, okay? Also, the next thing I was going to say, I said diet